how did you, coming out of college young and never having been in the workforce, never have been in the business force, I know that you talk about the good mentorship yourself, but how did you, one, channel your own mindset to get and stay on track to that, and two, have your wife on board with that?
So in November 2002, I decided that because my background with my mom, as I mentioned before, I didn't have the same filter I believe that most people had, because I was open to understanding business. So when I saw the opportunity, I said, you know what, let me take advantage of it. But my wife said, you're crazy, why are you doing this? You need to get a real job. And she really was kind of hammering me down.
Yeah.
So it was 3 months later when, quite frankly, the money started coming in.
Welcome to the Shattered Mindset Podcast, wisdom from life's turning points and defining moments. I'm your host, Melvin Larry, and I am sitting here with my good friend, Mr. Max Pilet.
Hey.
We've known each other for quite some time. Haven't spent a lot of time connecting, but I'm glad to have an opportunity to do so today. How you doing, my friend?
I'm fantastic. Doing great.
Man, that was a serious fantastic right there. It sounded like you meant that.
Yes, sir. Yes,
great. Well, it's great to be here with you and to have an opportunity to sit down and just kind of chop it up a little bit with you. So what are you doing in the A-Town?
Man, we in the A-Town connecting for the podcast summit.
Awesome.
Hosted by Mr. David Shans himself.
Yeah.
So we had an incredible week here, right? Well, I was here for 2 days. Felt like a week.
Man, that's because it was so full of content, man.
It was.
And so I'm excited that you were here. So when I saw you here, standing at the front of the line, it was just a joy to see you. So you spent much time here in the A?
Do I spend much time in Atlanta?
Yeah.
This is my maybe third or fourth intentional time. I've been here a few times before. But
okay.
Yeah.
Great. You know, we love to sit down and talk to people about mindset, lessons in life, and just dealing with and overcoming limiting beliefs. Because we deal with those types of things on throughout our lives. All of us deal with all of those things at some point. And so, before we jump in, if you don't mind, would you just tell folks who you are, a little bit about you?
Awesome, no problem. My name is Max J. Pilet. I actually share the same name as my dad. My dad's name is Max Pilet. So the middle name is actually Junior, because there was an error on the birth certificate.
The middle name is
middle name.
Now that's Junior. The first time I ever heard that.
Yeah, but they do that now. I'm from Haiti. Well,
okay.
I'm first generation Haitian, so they tend to make those kind of mistakes sometimes.
I see.
So, but I carry the J in the middle. From New York, born and raised in New York. Grew up there. Went to college out there. Met my college sweetheart.
Wow.
We've been married 18 years.
18 years.
Yeah, on July
out
7th.
Of college. That's quite a story, man.
Yes, it is. That's a whole story within itself. So entrepreneur now. This November will be 23 years. 23
years of entrepreneurship. So
23 years.
You didn't have to leave college and go and work at McDonald's and all that?
No, went straight from job free, and I like to say from job free to time rich.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's an awesome story.
Thank you.
So you went from college to job free, from college to marrying your sweetheart.
I did.
And so you've been on quite a honeymoon, man.
Yeah, it's been amazing. I tell people that because we haven't worked a traditional job and we only did business, that we've been married 18 years, but one day, maybe at year 11 or 12, I calculated the hours. If a person's working a job, they're away from their spouse at least 8 to 10 hours a day with commute.
Yeah.
So I calculated, and it was something like 40, 50 years of time together. So I tell people I'm married 18 years, but it's like more like 50, 60 years by God's grace.
Well, you figure that thing out any kind of way you want.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. You let her know how committed she is.
That's my boo-boo. Love you.
Help us, man. What if I told you she wasn't gonna see this, man?
I'll make sure she watches this episode. Come on.
She gotta watch this episode.
Brownie points.
Very good. So entrepreneurship, what has that been like for you to be an entrepreneur and business for yourself for basically all of your adult life?
It's been exciting. I feel extremely privileged that somebody introduced me to our business when I was 20 years young. And it's allowed me to live a lifestyle that I absolutely could not have dreamt was possible.
Yeah.
Um, so it's just been an incredible journey. We're just thankful for all the experiences that we get a chance to have because of our business. Yeah.
Good deal. Good deal. What has your business allowed you to be able to do?
Um, One of the things is, we all have a drive and it's a necessity to make money.
Yeah.
Um, but what I appreciate about our business is the opportunity to taste and live out the time flexibility and freedom that it offers.
Yeah.
Um, for example, my wife is a caregiver for her grandmother for the past 3 years, primary caregiver, and is basically with her, sometimes 24 hours a day, sometimes, whatever amount of time. But it would just simply been impossible for her to do that
Mm-hmm.
with the just traditional employment. So, being able to support her and watch her, be a blessing to her and literally help to extend her life and quality of life has been incredible.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of stories like that for different family members.
So you've been able to have the time freedom and the economic freedom to be able to uh, afford your wife the opportunity to be able to do that. What a
Yes,
blessing that
it
is.
is.
Very good. So have you had an opportunity to do much travel with that?
Yeah.
Oh man, you sound like that's something for you there.
Yeah, we've taken, I don't know how many vacations.
Mm-hmm.
If I had to put a number, maybe upwards in the last 18 years, maybe 30, 40. I'm not sure what
Wow.
that number is, but
Wow.
yeah.
And those not just let's go to your mama house or my
No,
mama
no, 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 no. Not a
house.
staycation.
Staycation.
A vacation with a beach.
Yeah.
We don't get into not many slopes, and because my wife doesn't like to ski, but that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah. Man, that's remarkable, and I'm excited about that for you. Excited about that for your wife. You know, your wife likes you a whole lot better when you take her on trips
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
true. I do look good when we're on a beach.
There you go, man. You look good anyway, man, but you just look even better. So, that sounds really great, but as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, tell me about some challenging times.
Mm. In entrepreneurship, ironically, my mom, God rest her soul, she passed away in 2020, was an entrepreneur for 20 years,
Mm.
physician, naturopath, homeopathic.
Mm-hmm.
And I've watched her even before she started that career, kind of dabble in direct sales, network marketing, and other business endeavors. So she's been my inspiration.
Yeah.
She was the one that kind of opened my eyes to entrepreneurship and working for yourself. As a matter of fact, when I was 12 years old, she sat me down, basically said, go to school, get good grades, but start a business after you graduate.
That's good.
So I was 12 years old having that kind of conversation. But getting started in entrepreneurship, to answer your question, the things that you don't anticipate are, one thing that you need are people.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing that's the biggest challenge are people.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So you begin to understand that some people just won't buy into your dream in the beginning because they need to see an example of what's possible. Because
Exactly.
they may not see that what's possible for them.
Exactly.
So I had a very close family member that hurt me in a sense, not hurt me because they were trying to hurt me, but they were trying to shelter me from entrepreneurship, and they were trying to take their personal lack of understanding and um, maybe because they felt that they couldn't do
Yeah.
what I was trying to do,
Yeah.
tried to tell me, hey man, maybe you want to, I don't know if you can do, why would you do one of those? And that hurt me a lot, and that kind of shattered me a little bit. And thank God for good mentorship,
Yeah.
who kind of guided me through that and helped me to understand that they're not trying to hurt me; they just don't have the same understanding.
Well, I'm sure that they had something a lot better to offer you for that.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. No.
it's usually not like
It's
that,
usually
right?
not like that. They didn't offer me a better way, just not
Yeah.
that way.
What I found is that when people do that, just like when people, break up have problems and challenges, or leave jobs and change careers and things like that, and people speak out about things like that, it's not because of what it it means to you, it's because of what it means to them.
Correct.
You know, and they don't feel good about it. You know, it has nothing to do, because really they don't even check in with you.
No.
Never do they say, so what does that mean to you? How do you feel about that? What are your thoughts? They tell you it's not a good idea.
Correct.
And they don't have any alternative offers. You know? How did you, coming out of college young and never having been in the workforce, never have been in the business force, I know that you talk about the good mentorship yourself, but how did you, one, channel your own mindset to get and stay on track to that, and two, have your wife on board with that?
So her name is Raquel, and we learned about entrepreneurship at the same time. This was November of 2002. So in November of 2002, I decided that because my background with my mom, as I mentioned before, I didn't have the same filter I believe that most people had, because I was open to understanding business. While I was in that same room, I would say 90% were not. They were a little bit more closed-minded. So when I saw the opportunity, I said, you know what, let me take advantage of it. But my wife said, you're crazy. Why are you doing this? You need to get a real job. And she really was kind of hammering me down.
Yeah.
So it was 3 months later when, quite frankly, the money started coming in. She was my girlfriend at the time, new girlfriend at the time.
Okay.
Right before I got started, that things began to change. But it really wasn't so for the money. It was really for kind of the transformation that she saw.
Yeah.
Because I was a party boy. I liked to have fun in college.
Yeah.
As soon as I got started in business, I was like, nope, I got to go to sleep early. I got to wake up early. I got to get to my meetings. So
change your disciplines.
I'd like to say that I just made a mental shift and said, I'm going to go out there and do it.
Yeah.
That was only the beginning, because we all have to have a desire to do that. But it was really through, I know what you know well, is personal development.
Yeah.
Is really understanding that we live in a world that just throws negative things at us constantly, through social media, through the traditional media. So understanding you have to pour good things into your mind if you plan on trying to change your life. And also understanding that the moment that you decide to try to change your life, that resistance is going to come the moment that you decide that you want something better.
Yeah.
So I was introduced through personal development, listening to good audios like Jim Rohn, Brian Tracy, John Maxwell. So listening and reading good things on a consistent basis, starting with about 15 minutes per day. And personal development really transformed my life. Even when the money, didn't come in as much as we wanted in the beginning, it became an anchor for us.
I tell people, I have told people, when they said, listen, you were working in that industry, and the industry that I was working in was direct marketing. And, I struggled in it for a long time. And somebody said, well, you never got rich in that, And I said, no, I didn't get rich, but I did get enriched. Ooh. From the experiences that I had.
That's good.
And the exposure that I had.
That's good.
Because I learned so much about business. I learned so much about people. I learned so much about mindset. I learned so much about myself, So I was enriched greatly. So when the time came for me to look at another business model, I was mentally ready for that, because I had grown up learning, and so when I needed to go somewhere to get some kind of training, okay, I know about that.
I love that.
When I needed to, take a no, I know about that, and so I learned, and so I was so enriched by the experience, and I learned also from that, even later in life, is that the experiences that we have in life, whether they are positive experiences or negative experiences, in some way enrich our lives. Tell me about something that a part of, you talked about your your mom and so forth. Tell me about something from your youth, your childhood, or something that really reflects in who you are today.
Something from my childhood that really reflects who I am today. Um,
And I ask that because I believe that life is a set of dots and lines, and the lines and dots lead to each other and lead to something that, even whether it's a positive something or a negative something, somehow it's connected.
Gotcha. I'll share this story and hopefully it lands the plane. I speak about my mom a lot. She passed away in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, she was an entrepreneur, doctor, had multiple practices. Actually didn't know how good my mom had it going on
See,
until
things we don't know, right?
the last few years of her life. I said, girl, you got that much money? Like, what's going on?
See,
She buying 5 things on the credit card, 5 items of clothing for $5,000. I was like, who you, boo?
right?
But anyway, I grew up with both my parents up until about 13, 14 years old. My parents got a divorce.
Okay.
So when my dad left, it was hard. It was always hard. We didn't grow up with affluent at all. 1 bedroom apartment in New York City, Brooklyn. And then we moved to a house and we didn't have a couch. I never grew up with furniture in the house. My mom never had a couch in the house. We had a house, but there was never a couch in the house. TV was on
That's
the floor.
because she was doing something else with that money.
She was, yeah.
She was putting that money somewhere else.
Yeah. Didn't look like it, didn't feel that way, but
right.
But anyway, I didn't have a close relationship with my mother.
Yeah.
So I wanted to have a close relationship with my mother, but she's an immigrant from Haiti. She's the oldest of 5. And she grew up, she didn't have the easiest life. Came to the United States when she was about 20. Eventually got into medical school, met my father, and then they built a life together with initially 3 children. So when I went off to college at 17, I was excited to get away from my mother, actually, because she was very critical woman.
Okay.
And I think looking back now, I understand why she was so critical, because she saw so much potential in you that if you weren't living up to that potential or exceeding it, she would let you know about it.
And that was her way of doing that, as opposed to a kind of gentler way of doing it.
Correct. It was her showing love that I understand now, but
exactly.
It never came across that way.
Yeah.
So I went off to college and I became kind of like disconnected. And I only spoke to her maybe once every 6 weeks or so. And within 5 minutes, as soon as the conversation started to get a little critical, all right, Ma, I gotta go. Bye-bye.
Because you could do that now.
Because I could do that.
See?
Yeah, not because I'm a big boy, because I'm in college.
Because you're not in the house.
Because I'm not in the house.
That's right. That's right.
So graduated college, met my girlfriend, who's now my wife, now 18 years, and we started building a business.
Yeah.
And our relationship still with my mom still wasn't great. But when I was 36 in 2016, I found out she was ill. And basically with cervical cancer. This is 2017. Cervical cancer. She didn't tell any of the children. By now she had a 4th child, my youngest brother. And there was a need for a caregiver, to be around the clock caregiver for her. And even though she had businesses, she didn't have she didn't have time, freedom, and flexibility.
Okay.
Because she had to be in those businesses in order to make her money. My stepfather, great man, always a provider, but he couldn't step away from those businesses. And I had siblings who had different things going on in their life, 2 of them, where it just was not possible at that time. So I kind of prayed about it, and I said I have to step in to take care of my mom. And during that period of time, a lot of things transpired over her road to what we thought would be recovery and health and remission. But I spent so much time with my mom during her sickness for 2.5 years that I spent more time with her in 2.5 years than I did in 20 years combined.
What did that do for your relationship with her?
That we went from how am I, I had to spend time very close proximity to her, sometimes in the same room as her.
Yeah.
And I used to say to myself, how am I going to be in the same room with my mom for all this time?
Yeah.
It's like, this doesn't even make sense to me, God. What are you trying to do?
Yeah.
But we went from distant I always know she loved my mom, to by the time she passed away, before she passed away, when I tell people that I love my mom, it felt like too small of a word to
Yeah.
describe the relationship that we got.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, you had a lot of love stored up that hadn't realized itself
Correct.
in all that time.
Correct.
And it just kind of bubbled all over it.
Yeah.
Then it wasn't like, oh, I've been loving mom all my life.
Yeah.
It's just so,
No.
yeah.
So I got to learn a lot about her and her childhood and how she grew up, and she got to learn about me. So she actually knew who I
Got
was
to
and
know
I
each other.
am. So only thing that made that possible was the business that we're in, which allowed us time, flexibility, and freedom for me to be around the clock with her.
Yeah. This interesting because you talk about the type of relationship you had with your mom, and then you talk about your dad was gone by the time you were 13.
Mm-hmm.
So you've been married longer than the time you spent with your dad.
I didn't think about it that way.
All right. So you've been married 18 years. You spent 13 years with your dad.
Yeah.
So you've been married longer than that. When you think about that situation with your dad and then with your mom,
Mm-hmm.
what is it that has been the glue for you and Raquel, considering all of that with that?
Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior.
Praise God.
That's it. That's it. My dad is in the picture. Thank God, he's alive. Just celebrated his 70th birthday in February.
How about that?
And he had all 9 of his children and 8 of his children in one room for the first time ever in life. So that was special. So that everybody came in from wherever they were to be there. So my dad was out of the picture from 13 till I was about 26.
Yeah.
At I think I was 24. I became a Christian, just a follower of Christ. And my wife, this was a Thanksgiving, a few weeks before Thanksgiving, she was like, "Why don't you call your dad?" I'm like, "Call my dad and say what?"
Yeah.
I didn't talk to him like that.
Yeah.
And whenever I did speak to him, it was not a good conversation because of the stories I heard from my mother.
Got it.
And something I'll say on this podcast is that always remember that there are 3 sides to a conversation. There's what one party said, there's what the other party said, and there's what really happened.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll never get or understand what actually really happened.
Yeah. And the fourth side is what other people said.
And what other people said. That's true. That's true. So long story short, I just called him up and I just told him I forgave him. We exchanged a very good exchange at that time, and that opened up the doors to 5 other brothers and sisters, because he remarried, had children that I really wasn't connected with. Mm-hmm. And now I'm closer to them than any other body of people.
When you say that, I forgive you, that can either give you a place of release, or it can put you in a place of resentment.
Absolutely.
Because it just depends on where your mindset is. That's at
right.
The time that you do it.
That's right.
How did it give you that release? Or did it give you the release right away? Was there ever the thought that I had to say this? And
initially, I remember exactly where I was. Me and long-term memory, I wouldn't say. I'm not gonna say it's bad, because it's not. I'm not gonna.
Y'all just don't have the greatest relationship.
Yeah, we just don't have the relationship. But I remember exactly where I was, where I was on the side of the road with my wife there, making that call.
Yeah.
And I remember. So when I told him that, the phone got silent.
Yeah.
And I actually heard. You ain't gonna like that I say that, but that's the first time I heard my dad cry, share any kind of emotion.
I get that.
So that was special. So I knew that there was something great happening there. And I also understood then, again, for me personally, as a Christ follower, it's like the Savior of the world came to die for me and my sin. Who am I not to forgive somebody else who sins against me, or who I feel sins against me?
Right. What do you think that men get wrong about forgiving, loving at any point of life? From thinking about maybe your relationship with your dad, your relationship with your wife,
Yes.
your relationship with people. What do you think men get wrong about it?
I don't think there's any one thing, but for me, if I had to sum it up in one thing, is that most of us might think that love is a feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So we feel like we're in love in the beginning, but we feel like we're falling out of love.
Mm-hmm.
But what I recognize through just countless different experiences is that love is a decision.
Yeah.
It's a choice. So for me and my wife, married 18 years, has it been, but peaches and roses the entire? No, marriage is a roller coaster. You want to throw each other off the bridge. Sometimes, you're screaming sometimes, and and then there's love, then there's a deep connection that you can't even explain. But
Yeah.
you have to choose to love your partner every day, every moment.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the moment that you choose not to, then it can be to your peril. And also, I find that, especially in a spouse, one of the easiest things to do is to compare the best, what you feel is the best quality in somebody else,
Yeah.
to the worst quality in your spouse. And when you begin to do that, you begin
Yeah.
to unravel a cord that you may not be able to ravel back up
Wow,
again.
that's a big one there, man.
Yeah.
And it's easy to do that.
Yeah.
It's so easy to do that. From your experiences in business,
Mm-hmm.
the doing the things that you're doing and going to do, and you're looking at some new things now. And so, where do you see yourself headed?
Right now, uh, as I've been describing it, it feels like God has me in a little bit of a fog.
Hmm.
And He's been nudging me, even though I may not be able to see just a few feet. And He'll be like, tap me on the shoulder, go there, tap me on the shoulder, go there. But there's a fog in front of me.
Yeah.
But I know His presence is there because things that have happened, that have transpired, would be impossible for me to say that it was a coincidence.
Yeah.
It's just too evident. So for me, I'm excited. I'm still in my career now, celebrating almost 23 years.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. Something that you said a little bit earlier, off camera, is, maybe it was on camera, but the things that we've endured or gone through, the experiences before a certain experience actually takes off. You didn't describe it as that, but to me, when you said that, it's like a season of preparation.
Yes.
Yeah,
Without whether we know it or not,
whether we know it or not.
you know.
So I feel like I've been prepared for this moment. So moving into new spaces like coaching, and I have a course launching in just a couple of weeks here.
What's your course about?
It's based on a book that I wrote back
Mm.
in November.
Okay.
It's helping entrepreneurs to uncover their iconic identity,
Yeah.
so that way they can attract the people that they're called to serve.
Have you published it yet?
The book is published. Yeah, the book is
What's the
live.
name of it?
It's called Posts to Profits.
Post to
Yeah,
Profit.
POSTS, the number 2, profits.com,
Nice.
ebook and physical book available.
And your course is designed to teach people what?
It's designed to teach people uh, this, the concept of how to brand yourself,
Mm-hmm.
uncover who your audience is,
Mm-hmm.
but more so just the idea of understanding that there is a group of people, especially if you're an entrepreneur or business owner, even if you're not, that are, what I say, called to you for you to share a particular message. So, if you're, whatever you do for a living, there are people, even if you feel like you work in a space that's saturated with other people who do the same thing as you, that they're waiting for you to show up so that way they can hear the story from you specifically. And if it's business, then they're there to do business with you. If it's something else, they're there to hear your story from you specifically. So it's how do you make sure that you put yourself best out there so that way you can attract those people.
When did you know that you wanted to do a course, or that you were ready to do a course?
I'm still not ready. I don't think. No, I'm ready now, prepared, but
Yeah,
prepared and ready are two different
that's two
things.
different things, right?
Yeah. So I have a book that I was working on for months before that,
Mm-hmm.
outlined everything, kind of ready to go. And people started to ask me questions related to social media. This was 2024. So as I began to speak across the country, people would ask me, one of the things to speak on and train on was social media, which puzzled me. I'm on social media, I'm active on social media, but to me it was puzzling that people were asking me about it.
Yeah.
So as I began to uncover what was happening, I realized that over a period of 18 months, I was able to attract over 30 customers to our business, 9 partnerships to our business over 18 months, part-time with little effort.
Right.
So when that happened,
Using social media.
Okay. So people started to ask me questions so often, so frequently. I said, I have to write an ebook so that way people don't ask me. I can just tell them to read the ebook.
Okay. You want to automate your situation.
I said, I can't have these conversations like this anymore. So I ended up writing the ebook, which I eventually turned into a physical book. So it's available in both options. But I tell people that it was God's book to write because I had no intention on doing that.
Yeah.
And then after the book was written, people began to ask me, all right, do you have a coaching program? Can you coach me on this? Can you do that? Do you have a course?
Yeah.
So people started to inquire. So I said, I guess I got to do a course now.
Yeah.
And so that's where we're
I'll
at today.
get back with you on that.
Yeah. So
that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. So have you released the course?
Yeah, the course is open for what I call pre-registration. So we take a few applicants and we kind of go through them, ask a few questions, make sure that they're the right kind of person we're looking to work with, and then they can register.
So are you going to be a writer? Are you going to be a coach? Are you going to just straight entrepreneur? Are there going to be any shifts in what you're doing?
I don't know. I would say ...
Yeah.
But I do believe that in the coaching space, in the speaking space, in the entrepreneur space, that will continue. I love the business that I'm in now. I mean, it's the best thing since, as I told you earlier, sliced bread. Yeah. But I'm excited to see what's going to be uncovered there through that space. So we're still in the preliminary stages, even though it's been a year, almost a year.
That's good.
Yeah, man.
And so you attended an event. We attended an event over the last few days.
Yeah, man.
So tell me a takeaway from that for you.
From the podcast summit.
Yeah.
With the world of social media, for me personally, even though I'm on social media, engaged in social media, I didn't understand why I would need a podcast.
Yeah.
So hearing all the testimonials and hearing all the experiences and the tools, and basically how it's an extension to what you're already trying to do, it really clicked for me.
Yeah.
The need, the desire, and most importantly, how we can spread the message that is already pre-deposited into us on how we can serve other people. So it's just another medium to extend that message.
If you could leave a message with this audience, you know, think about primarily men anywhere from 35 to 65, like yourself, upward mobile, you know, maybe looking for the next chapter, maybe taking a different road, maybe just wherever they are. What's the message that you could leave?
I would say 2 things. In summary, you know, many of us, you know, whether a person believes or not, to me is, you know, it's cool. But in the genesis of the world, between Adam and Eve, there was an enemy, and God said, when he put Adam and Eve here on earth, said you can have access to any and every tree, every piece of fruit, except one. Except one.
Yeah.
So they were living the best life, man. What happened, guys? But anyway, there was an enemy that came and said, did God really say?
Yeah.
So that was the first question in the Bible. Did God really say? And what most people don't recognize is that when that question happened, and of course, Eve ended up taking the fruit, gave her husband, and that was the fall of the world. This is why we are where we are today. What entered into the world was doubt.
Yeah.
And internally, men 35 to 65, you said?
Yeah.
From 0 to, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Men, women, children, we all have this internal struggle of self-doubt, no matter how assured we feel we are.
Mm-hmm.
And we have, once we understand the origin,
Yeah.
then we can begin to combat that. So that's the first point that I would make, is that you're not crazy. There is an answer. There's ways of overcoming it, and you can make it, and you will make it once you make that decision. That's number one. Number two is there's a quote that I believe is the original quote. You know, there's not many original quotes that we have, because they say you have to. It's okay to be a copycat as long as you copy the right cat. But I think I got an original quote, Mr. Larry, and that quote is that you have to make a deposit in your present, so that way you can make a withdrawal in your future. Most most people, when they think about making deposits, they think about making deposits of money.
Yeah.
But what most people don't recognize is that you're also making deposits of time.
Yeah.
And deposits of time that you make today will allow you to reap deposits of time in the future. So you have to understand the power of now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what
So
that's what I would say there.
I think that's good. I like to say that everything that you're looking for your future has already been deposited in your past.
Hey, that's
Hey,
hey.
see? Hey, we're clicking here, man.
Yeah,
We're
man.
clicking here. We might write a book of quotes
I'm
or something.
telling you. Telling you.
No, but listen, hey, I appreciate you taking the time to sit down with me. I'm so glad that you are here and that we could do this. It was, like I said before, it's just a joy to see you, and we have always connected from afar.
Yeah, we have.
But it's always been a connection.
Yes.
You know, I don't even know what started it,
I
but
don't know either.
but it's always been there, and it's been a joy to sit down with you and to chop it up a little bit. And I just believe it's just the beginning of us doing a whole lot more.
Oh, no problem, man.
Of
It's been an
this.
absolute pleasure. Thanks for asking me. And as I call him, Uncle Melvin is the best.
Uncle Melvin. Thank you. Well, hey, listen, folks. I'm excited to have had an opportunity to chop it up with my friend Max Pilet here, and just take the things that you hear, that you experience, and do the things to make your life better in some way, because everything that has happened in your life has happened to prepare you for where you're going. So with that, take care, take charge. God bless. We'll see you next time on Shattered Mindset.